There we go. Okay. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? All right. Everything all right with the light? Yeah, I think so. Okay, good. I have a microphone here on the table instead of the arm. It's not on the arm anymore, as you can see. It's here now, so it is not in front of me, but I think the sound isn't as good because it's a little bit further away from me. So maybe I have to put it up like this. I have to find some other way to do that. You can see, like, if I have it like this, it's a little bit nicer. Yeah, but for today, it's gonna be like this. Let's see how well that works. Let me see where we have the windows here. Can you actually see me? It says still starting soon. I don't know what's going on here. You should be able to see me, right? Let me close some windows here before we get started, and then move this over here, and then let me pop out the chat. Where's the chat? There we go. Okay, cool. Is the page not working? I don't know what's going on right now. You should be able to see me, right? Hi, everybody. Let me reload here. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. I don't know what's going on. Yes, I see you. Okay, that's cool. Very nice, very nice. So let me see. Here we have, who is here? We have Sangrath. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, Eric from Vienna. How are you doing? Kathy. Hi. Tech Art Hunter. Hi from Arizona. From Minnesota. From Vienna. Sorry, I didn't read that. Isabella from Italy. Hi, Mark. Hi, where are you from? Chinot from Hungary. Hi. Thanks for joining. Funky Palette from South Africa. Wow. Hello. Ben from the UK and Briffo from, doesn't say. Okay. Kids Have Imagination. Huh? Cool name. Cool channel name. Hi from the UK. JD from Natchez. MS. Massachusetts? Well, what is that MS? I'm not quite sure. Briffo is from Argentina. Hi. JLG. Oh, Jean-Loup from Sevilla. As always, hi. Nice to see you again. All right. Michelle from Brooklyn. And so many more people. Deutsch from Vancouver. Hi. All right. Subgoth from Arizona. Hi. And Tense Films from Colorado. Hi. Alien from Romania. There we go. Okay. Let's get started here a little bit. So I will pin my post that I made before, the comment, so you can see it on top of the chat. Look there, you can submit your AI work, so we can review that, and then we can also look into some powerful prompts today. Let me actually open up Midjourney here, so we can just explore a little bit. What people are doing, how things are working. I also made this kind of video yesterday about these sheets that you can create with multiple characters that look the same in the same image. So yeah, that can be very useful if you want it to be. There we go. So let's see. And we can also talk about powerful prompts, what you have found out, things like that. Let me see how I can switch over here. I think I need to click this button. Yes, awesome. Okay, there's a little bit too much visible here. Let me arrange that. I'm back, by the way, I'm back in Vienna. In the cold and icy and snowy Vienna. Let me see how much of the screen is visible. We can go like this. Okay, cool. So now you can see Discord. And then we will also open up here the browser. And then we will also have here playground. We can play around with that. So we have a lot of possibilities. Let's see, there's only one submission so far. Do you see the link or not? Let me click here to create a Google Sheet from that. Okay. Oh, that's a very short prompt. Okay, cool. Is there some like specific tricks, some specific things about prompts where you say, hey, this works especially well for me? Oh, sorry. I shouldn't click on that during the live stream. Where's the chat? There's the chat. Okay, so this is more like an interactive thing today. Xian, hi from Germany. Ghost Ranger from Africa, how are you doing? Awesome. Back home, will you shut down your router to keep up the feeling? I hope my router stays up. Like the hotel thing is now gone, where I have to like where the router restarts at 3 at night. Also, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, I'm back in my time zone. So here it's not 3 at night, it's 8 at night, which is good, which is really nice. Much better for my, I really had like not sleeping problems, but I would be up all night and then sleep until half of the day. And then of course in Asia and in Thailand, the sun goes down. The sun goes down every single day around the year 6 p.m. So yeah, if you sleep until 3, you have just a little bit of light left. Maybe let's go back here to the big view so we can talk a little bit more. I want to use more of these backgrounds and make it a little bit more cool, so you can see me. You can now, I have full movement of my hands. It's unlimited now. It's pretty cool. I want to do that more. And then I also have, ordered an adapter for I have a very good camera, Sony A7 III. I want to connect that to my computer so we have a high resolution video. Maybe I can like do multiple camera angles, stuff like that. Yeah, so trying to improve the quality a little bit of my channel. Where's the chat again so I can see that actually? Okay. So is there such a big delay? People still saying if they can see me or not? Anyways, let me know about your insights into the prompts. Sorry, my brain cut out for a second there. I know that with Stable Diffusion, a lot of the prompting is done actually in the negative prompt and then also in the prompt weight. So it's a lot more complex than with Midjourney. On the other hand, you have a lot more choice on things you want to do and also the models you want to use, stuff like that. Especially when you use, for example, online page, and I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of Playground actually, because let me switch over here for a second. I need to move these closer together. 1 second, the different scenes here. There we go, that's better. Oh, you can already see my screen. There we go. Okay, one thing I really like about Playground is that here you have, I don't know why they call it filter. I think they should rename that, because the founder of the page says these are actually models that they have trained. And there's a lot of them, and I think they will add more models over time. Oh, there's even one for wall art. There's one for black and white here, cinematic, stuff like that, royalistic. So you can get some really interesting images depending on the models that are used here. So for example, we have here this woolizer. So let's make portrait of Spider-Man. So the model is also important, not just the prompt. So let's go, no, wait a second. Let's go for none and just create one image. The ratio should be good. No, the ratio is not good. The ratio is square. Let's cancel that and make it like this. And then in the meantime, let me know. MJ pets the prompts. Yeah, it does. They do some magic in the background, so it's easier and you don't need as much negative prompts, right? On Midjourney. I think for a lot of people on Midjourney, though, it's a little bit harder to escape the style. that the page is creating. Like when you look at the community stream, there is more of this like comic style, but that's basically based on Nietzsche and this kind of drawing style here. But the other styles, these here, that is very much very similar, I would say, right? So it's a little bit harder to escape that. Oh no! Oh, there we go. So we have a spider, not a great Spider-Man because my prompt isn't good. Let's go to Wool Eyes now, the Wool Eyes model. So now we should actually get like a knitted version of Spider-Man. I hope there isn't too much, like, of course, with the time, maybe a lot of people are online right now. It's going to be a little bit slower, but let's see. Oh, there we go. You see, we have like a knitted Spider-Man. I don't know why the body is kind of gray. Let's do this again. While we have time. And then there's a lot in the negative prompt with the okay. Getting funky here. All right. We probably want to have a better prompt. Let's see here in the list if we have some more stuff. Yeah, we have. Oh, they also like short. I wanted to have some like really interesting prompts today. So we can talk about them. We can of course also, oh, sorry, I was on the wrong list here. We can of course also analyze the prompts. Let's maybe start with that. So here we have a very cool picture with two people, which is good. Midjourney is really good at that. Here you have this kind of multi-prompt thing where it's splitting that up. I don't even know if you can do that in Stable Diffusion, to be honest, because I usually don't use it. I use the weights with the round brackets and the negative weights with the square brackets. Can you do multiple prompts in Midjourney? Multi-prompting, is that a thing? I'm actually not sure right now. So let's have a look at this, for example. Gorgeous K-pop redhead iTune female, so apparently one of the famous singers, and Harajuku goth punk Hamiri female hugging and kissing. Oh, all right. So we don't have that, luckily. And this image would be a little bit too hot for YouTube. Alluring, frisky, flirtatious in the pool. What's going on here? Who is writing this prompt? Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting we have some this kind of thing here. Full body, incredible detailed, sharp details, intricate detailed, professional lighting, film lighting, trending on ArtStation. So on Midjourney, the idea of this kind of splitting up the prompt is that the AI can focus on that part and then separately on this part and then separately on this part. So it's not mixing too hard. So now we have a lot of artist names, I suppose, which I'm not going to read. And then down here we have the camera type. So this is splitting it up. It's not mixing it. And filthy. Filthy prompt. There we go. Oh my God. Cancelled. Straight to jail. Okay, anyways, what was I about to say? Oh, yes. So that the AI knows what this is actually focusing on, right? So that kind of makes a lot of sense. Sometimes I think it's useful when you want to like separate out things. And yeah, like I said, so like, for example, with the AI, it knows that when you say sharpen, detail, stuff like that, this is not focused like, I don't know, on some part of the image, like the clothing or something. It's the image should be sharpened, not something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, that might be, that is something really useful to do that. And you do this by typing : right? We can actually look at the prompt. Can we? Yes, we can. 1 second. I have to open up here Affinity Photo. 1 second. Give me a moment, please. Let's see. We make new here. That should be okay. Then we make a little box here, like so. And then I should be able to post the prompt in here. Have I already? No, this is something else entirely. Oh, that's my form. Okay, let's delete that. Oh god. There we go. Okay. Bloop. And then we want to have this bigger, please. Oh, let's go for 150. Oh, that's a bit too big. There we go. So you can see here, sorry. There we go. Colon here, this one. This is how you separate that out. And then it's also here with the weight. I can't see my mouse for some reason. So here is the colon 8. And then down here we have colon 7. I can't see my mouse. I don't know what's going on. Let's click here on a different... Oh, there we go. Now here you have that, right? Oh, by the way, I forgot about that. Do I have this installed here, SwordSoft? Yes, I have. I forgot that I actually have that. So now you have a red circle around my mouse. You can see a little bit better where I'm pointing. Also, this window is too big for you to see everything. One moment. Man. At some point, I hope my channel is big enough so I have someone setting up things for me, because I'm failing every single... I've done over 100 streams and I'm failing every single time to set things up and do them right. I think this will never change. It's just who I am. Anyways, there we go. So this kind of thing spreads them out. Okay. Let's have a look here at these pictures, maybe from our community, so nobody feels left out. Oh, we have a very cute robot here. Like, the prompt isn't interesting to analyze for today, but the images are pretty cool, right? Dreamy RGB, sorry. Pretty ghost robot. Very nice. Pretty cool. All right. By the way, I want to pimp up my studio a little bit with LED lights. Are they called LED lights? I think they are. These rainbow lights like this, you know. And so I wrote a company who I saw on Linus Tech Tips, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna write them. Let's see, maybe they send me some lights. You have to, at some point, you have to take a little bit of, how do you say, advantage of your street cred on YouTube, right? I can make a nice video with that and then get some lights for free. Who knows, right? That would be nice. Let's see if that happens or not. Or I have to buy it. Oh, this is a YouTube video, so we can't link to that. Like a common peasant with my own money. How dare they're not sending me free stuff. No, I don't know. I have to, it would be nice. I don't know. It would be nice. Anyways, there we have a samurai. Pretty cool. Yeah. The good thing is with software, it doesn't cost anybody anything. So people send me software, which is pretty cool. Which AI software isn't much to go around right now. But I have to write Topaz. They sent me their software before I made a video, I think about some months ago, but they updated since, and they also have a video AI software, which I want to try, which I want to show you. So I will have to write them. They're very nice. I'm pretty sure they're going to send me that. And like I said, it's not costing them anything. So that's pretty cool. And I'm not making advertisement. I'm just like, if the software is good, I'm review it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to review it. So, right? I only make good reviews. I don't like to talk bad about companies. Because, like, just because I don't like the product doesn't mean other people enjoy the product, right? So, yeah. Anyways, here we have a very long prompt. Should we read that? Is that a good thing? By the way, I should look at the chat. I'm very bad at conversations. Let's have a look here. What is the command to separate the prompt parts? Yeah, colon. Do you say colon? It's colon, right? Wait. What is this called in English? Punctuation marks and grammar. Period? Comma? Semicolon? Colon, yes, it's called colon. Strange word, but is it pronounced colon? I hope so. Anyways, let's go back here. The samurai prompt is really big, so this has to be, I guess, for stable diffusion. Oh no, it's not for stable diffusion. It's for Midjourney actually. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Oh, by the way, oh May, I forgot about that. Hey, we have to celebrate 100,000 followers. Yes, I am now part of the select few people, like is already like thousands of people, of course, but who have 100,000 followers, which is pretty amazing, and which happened already like a bit ago. So now I have 107,000, which is even more awesome. So yeah, and I'm getting the YouTube plug, the the silver thing, the button. Yeah, I'm looking so much forward to that. Wow. Yeah, so I'm thanking you, of course, because you made all of this possible. So that's pretty amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, should I make like a thank you video or something? I don't know. I should make a thank you post. That would be good, right? Congratulations. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm so happy. I never thought I'm gonna reach that, by the way. Because as you know before, let's make a little bit story time here. Story time. I need a jingle for that. When I sing, my microphone is breaking. Anyways, what was I about to say? Oh yes, before I made photo editing, and that was pretty amazing with a really cool community. I hope most of them are still here. But I had fairly big success with that, reaching over 4 years, about 4 or 5 years, about 50,000 followers, which was amazing. But I never thought I'm gonna go to 100,000, because I would have to spend another 5 years at least to go to 100,000. Then the AI topic came around, it's like exploding, which for me really shows that a lot in life is not about how good you are or what you do. It's more about being at the right time at the right place. There's so much luck involved, right? Even as also, I think with singers, with actors, stuff like that, they just got lucky and got that famous role, and then this guy suddenly is Han Solo, and that guy suddenly is a Spider-Man or whatever. You know, it could be someone else. He's Harry Potter. There were like 10,000 kids applying for that. It could have been another kid, and then you would never have heard about that one kid who became Harry Potter, right? So a lot of that is luck. And then of course, like, you have to have some skill and some quality and some like persistence in the way you create, and some passion for the things you do. So that's also given. So you have to be good, but then also be at the right place is maybe a good way to combine that. And at the same time, like I said, I never would have expected to get there. And it's growing like this. Oh, it's going up there like a rocket. Let's see where things going. Okay, let's go back to your things rather than my stories. Anyways, oh, one thing I have to say before we go back, sorry, a little bit more story time. I realized pretty quickly after reaching that goal that I have to be more careful with the things I do and with the things I say, because they have now more impact. And this was really surprising for me, because a lot of people always say, oh, this and that person changed because of their fame. Is it like that, or is it just that they are more responsible, right? Because, like, for example, if I call someone out for being a fool, if you don't have any followers, that doesn't mean anything, because you're just like on the same level as the other person. But if you have a lot of followers and do the same thing, first of all, your community might act on that. And secondly, that person might be a fan of yours and be really sad about that, right? So there's a lot more like responsibility involved with that. And this was really interesting to see for me. It's how things work out, right? Interesting. Anyways, let's go back to the prompts. And also the chat, maybe. Soon 150,000. I hope so. Yeah, I'm setting up a lot of things. Also art projects, by the way. And the art grant is still on. I have a winner also, which I still have to make the video with. And then I do the call for February. Okay, now we're really talking about the prompt. Sorry about that. Okay, should we read that? Okay, let's read it really fast. Photorealistic ultra-sharp photography of a Japanese samurai, knives and weapons perspective for under What? Perspective from under. Okay. Warface paint, cinematic shot, dynamic composition, incredibly detailed, sharpened details, action pose, Vanda Black. Ooh, Vanda Black. Okay. Knitted wool tunic with cyberpunk filigree details, Asian Japanese mountain sunset in background, perfectionism, ultra detailed hair, ultra detailed skin, ultra detailed eyes. Oh my god. Closed mouth, dressed in knitted wool, haute couture. Oh, okay, there we go. Knitted future dress for women, high fashion makeup art. Is this the prompt for the image that we have looked at? Art by artist name here and there. Award-winning realism. The image is shot in a dark style with a sense of hopelessness and despair. Oh my god. Close-up shot cinematography, bokeh, lens flare, film grain photography, and then there's a lot of details. No, it's not a lot of details. DSLR 50mm lens, f2.8, sorry. Shutter speed 160. You can set shutter speed. Okay, cool. Soft light source, V4 stylized 700, Q5. There is no Q5. Is there Q5? I don't think so. Just Q2, right? AR 2x3. Is there Q5? They had a Q5, but I think they disabled it because it takes too much CPU time. So the maximum is 2Q. But 2.5 has been disabled for a long time, right? The Blitz says, do you know that famous people are not driving cars themselves because they don't want to be liable? It's actually a good point. But on the other hand, like famous people are dying in car crashes, like kind of often. Not like that sounds terrible, but like you often hear like, oh, this person crashed in a car, right? When they were driving themselves. Not because they are lazy. Blew my mind first time thinking about it. I would also think that if you're really busy and you work with your brain, that you would just not want to waste the time. Like think about it. You want to drive from your home, probably outside of the city, to the center to a meeting, driving half an hour. You can work in that time. You can sit on your laptop. You can have a meeting in the background of your stretch limo or whatever. Why would you drive a car? It's a waste of time if you can pay someone to do that and you can do amazing things. Like think about Elon Musk or something like that. Why would he waste his time driving if he can invest his time planning, right? Being on the phone with, I don't know who, the president of Mars, planning the first invasion wave, something like that. The first car factory on Mars. There we go. Anyways, pretty cool. But the prompt, the image turned out very different, right? There we go. Not much knitted, not much haute couture. But the image is still very cool. I like the hair. How do you get so much detail? That's amazing. Because I find like one of the problems I have lately with Midjourney is when you have images, one second, which have these kind of painterly styles, the upscaling looks like crap. Look at that. Look at how blurry everything is. I kind of think it wasn't like that in the past. I don't know. I can't use it anymore for thumbnails because I have to zoom into the image to use it as a thumbnail. So like this, it's way too blurry. I don't know what's going on. On the other hand, then with other images, you have a really, really nice detail. Like with this one, look at that. It's not blurry at all. So if you have photographic images, no blur, no pixelation. If you have a painting, lots of pixelation for some reason on Midjourney. You really have to fix that. Is there but doesn't influence the outcome. Oh, okay, I see. The prompt has been around, it looks. What? What are we talking about? Okay, should we let's go for another one here. What else should we look at? Wow, there's some cool stuff here. And oh my god, Midjourney needs to fix the booby problem. I want to call it right now. Like every 90% of the women have like really large breasts all of a sudden, and they are always having highlights on them. Why? I don't want that. Like show me like a normal person, right? Why does everything like have it blown up? This one is nice and very long too. Wow, pretty cool. Oh, this is a new trend. I didn't even, maybe I should, I want to do more shorts, by the way. I used to do shorts in the past, but then I stopped. There's a new trend I think, where they use smileys in the prompt for some reason. And apparently it seems to work well. Actually, let me try that on my own Midjourney here. Let me see what we can do with that. Let's see. Image, boom. So let's see what we get from this. What? Q2 tends to overcook, if that makes sense. It works, but the result is not sharper. No, it's not sharper. It's more, it's supposed to be more detailed, so the AI has more time to work on the different, like on thinking about your prompt and putting the different things in there. Doesn't mean it has to be better all the time, right? It used to be a lot better. Yeah, I feel so too. The upscaling on Midjourney was really amazing. Oh, okay. So, this is what we get from the smileys, which is very random. So I don't really think, I mean, to be honest, it is snow and it is a house. And here it's also snow and there is a house. So I guess Midjourney does understand smileys. There's an alien also in here. I mean, here we have a little bit like, you could say this is a frozen alien. Interesting. What is your experience with working with smileys on Midjourney? Cloud, snow, cloud, and a European castle. Oh, okay, cool. Let's go back here. 8K detailed background, fusion of, oh, there's another, like artist name, award winning photography. Okay. Oh. With some good stuff here. Wow, look at that. Interesting. There's more. It is the same thing. This is the same image from the different image from the same prompt. A brother from another mother, so to say, in the sense of prompts. No, from the same mother. Sorry, I'm talking another brother from the same mother. This is actually the opposite. The opposite. There we go. Should we look at our community? What's going on here? There's another long prompt here. Is this from the same person? No, it isn't. I didn't even read the person names, the people names. The first one was from Ben. The second one from Ted Steiger. The third one now is from Tarindu. Okay, Tarindu. Let's see what we have here. Oh, this is a Facebook post. Okay, cool. Is it in my group? No, I think it's just on his profile. Okay, cool. Very nice. Interesting. So there's multiple images here. Oh, wow. Look at this. Very nice. Okay. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Also very nice. Love the colors. Very, very good. Okay, let's have a look here at the prompt. What this is. Oh, and also over here. Yeah, it says also Midjourney. I forgot that I made the box where you can tick the AI that you have been using for that. So let's put this in here. Beautiful elf female model dancing, smooth skin, violet red flower dress, full body shot, cinematic color grading, ultra wide angle, hyper detailed, beautifully color coded, insane details, intricate details, beautifully color graded, Unreal Engine editorial photography. Interesting. Photography depth of field, DOF, which is also depth of field, tilt blur, shutter speed 1/1000, f2.2, white balance 32K, super resolution, megapixel, pro photo, RGB, VR, lonely, okay, good, massive, half rear lighting, black highlight, natural lighting, incandescent, optical fiber, cinematic lighting, volumetric, contre-jour, what is that? I don't even know if I pronounce it correctly. Global illumination. I guess it's some kind of clothing, right? Let's have a look here. Oh, we have this. I wanted to look for this. 1 second. I have this special negative prompt, so we can try this on. We can try this. This is from Bella and from Vici. Sorry, I forgot the name. Vinci. There we go. Okay, so we have this prompt here, which, by the way, I also found as part of a model that I recently showed you on a Stable Diffusion model with the same negative prompt, which was interesting. So maybe they are also inspired by them too. Okay, cool. Let's click here. Not with wool eyes. This time we're going to use... Oh, this I want to show you because I forgot about that. I want to show you this. So now let's see what we get. I stole your prompt. Like an AI thief, a villain. Okay, congrats your ears when you photograph it into the light. What? Congrats your ears when you photograph into the light. Huh? I don't know what that means. Where can we send the stuff? On the top of the chat? There's a pinned message with the form. Oh. That doesn't look too good. Okay. Of course, this is a Midjourney prompt. It's not a Stable Diffusion prompt. But now, oh, wait a second. Let me try this again. So maybe we get a better composition because then we can use the seed. Let's delete this. Let's delete those also. They are very bad. Okay. Let me give you. What is your profile? Playground profile? That is a good question. That is a little bit better here. The face doesn't look good, but anyways. Okay, so let's click here. So we have the seed now. And then let me use here cinematic first. So you can see this is the same seed. In the meantime, I can actually check out my profile. There isn't much on there, to be honest. But if you want, you can still check it out. There's some interesting stuff. I tried yesterday to get these like repeated characters. Didn't work too well. Oh, I think a lot of this stuff is actually private images of testing, so you can't see them when you click on that. Which is interesting because on Playground, you can make a private session. You have to click down here, private session. I can actually click that right now. Aha, so you can see how this has changed, like this to that. It's a little bit nicer. The face is nice though. Wait, let me write here close-up portrait. Close-up portrait. So we get a little bit more detail in there. Let's do this again. 1 second. The emotions seem to work with SD as well. Okay, that's good. I wanted to try it out for SD, but then I ran out of time. And also it would be like maybe too long for a video. Let me try this again. Oh. I have to write correctly. That would be good. I thought we were going to get a better result, to be honest. Pro photo. Let's fix some of these things here. Cancel that, cancel that, cancel that, cancel that. Okay, let's try again. Oh, cancel that. Let me randomize this again. Let's see what we get here. Playground Pro. Oh, okay, that's mine. Typo. Yeah, thank you. Okay. My image plus in painting. Yeah, but this doesn't help with the prompt today. Okay. Anyways, there we go. So this didn't send anything. Oh, there's a playground image. Let's have a look here. Is this the profile or is it an image? And it doesn't load at all. Oh, it's the full profile. You probably wanted to send an individual image, but didn't work. So that's also not going to work. Here we have something from Instagram. Rosa Parks. Oh, that looks actually pretty good. Happy birthday, Rosa Parks. Okay, cool. Wow, that looks surprisingly well. Oh, there we now have another one. Wow. Okay, that is very nice. Let me see here 1 second. And then we have to look at the other one. And then if this doesn't work here, where's the Rosa Park image? There we go. This is the prompt for that. 1 second. So we can have a look at this. There we go. Oh, if for some reason it's flipped down here. Oh, it's a very long thing. 1 second. Oh no, this... What is going on here? Sorry. Yeah. There we go. But this is only half the prompt now, right? I don't know what's going on here. Copy and then fill this in special. No. Okay, anyways. Let me check here real quick on what's happening here. I don't know what's going on. Let me go to the profile real quick so we can have another prompt. Yeah, let's use this one here. No. Is there no remix button? Where's the remix button? There's the remix button. This might not work, but let's see. Oh, this is... Yeah. Okay, let's use the same seed, which might not work 100%. I have a very... This is my very long negative prompt here. Okay, while this is rendering, we're checking this is a level. Sorry, I'm jumping between 3 different things here. That's the whole prompt. My PC should have to use SD. That's a good question. I think you need at least 6 gigabytes of VRAM. Probably more. 10 would be good. But I actually don't know what the minimum graphics card spec is to run Stable Diffusion. Does anybody know what the minimum is for that? Also, if you like, the minimum is a little bit problematic because it can take forever to actually use it then to render images, especially when you have higher resolutions, you want to upscale them, you want to do in painting, you're gonna wait forever. Like if you have the funds, probably get a better CPU, get a better computer, or do it with Google Colab. That's not too expensive. Or you can also, like, if you don't want to use your own models, you can use it with Playground. You can create 1,000 images here per day. This turned out completely different for some reason. Man, today it's just not working. I just want to show you something easy. There we go. So usually what I do now is looping that image. But what I actually wanted to show you, which I can't show you again, is, for example, let's go here for Royalistic and do the same thing. Let's click here with the same prompt and see how that turns out with a different model. 1 second. It's been done. 8 GB RAM. Yeah, 8 sounds good. 8 should be possible for most of the things. It looks pretty much the same. This is just like the presentation effect. I'm sorry about that. Oh, there isn't even the filter isn't even applied. Okay, let's try this again. Where's the Royalistic? There we go. Royalistic. Create. Okay, in the meantime, so this is the Rosa Parks image. Let's check out the prompt now for that. Rosa Parks is a young seamstress. What's a seamstress? Fearlessly standing up for her beliefs in the face of adversity, surrounded by the bustling streets of Montgomery, Alabama in the 1950s. The colors of the scene are predominantly shades of brown and beige, a mix of soft pastel and warm earth tones, capturing the essence of realism inspired by the work of Jacob Lawrence and Norman Rockwell. The mood is one of quiet strength and determination, with a hint of sadness for what has been lost and hope for what is to come. 8K full HD intricate detail masterpiece. Was this prompt written by ChatGPT? Because it's like in a novel kind of way, like you would write a novel, like a story or like a normal text. because that's not how most people will write the prompt, right? So I think this might be ChatGPT or something else to create that, unless you write it yourself that way. A seamstress is a female trader? Oh, interesting. Okay. Really? Seamstress. A woman who sews. No. Oh. According to the Merriam-Webster, a seamstress is a woman who's occupied in sewing. A male referred to seamstress as tailor. Oh, tailor. Did you write tailor or trader? Oh, female tailor. I'm sorry. I I was like, the traitor? Okay, that's a bit much, maybe. Okay, so it's a tailor, someone who's sewing. Interesting. Seamstress. Okay, there we have it. AMD don't work with SD. No, you need an NVIDIA card, which is, I think, like for gaming, AMD is becoming better, but for everything AI, NVIDIA is still the big GPU to use. There is not much solutions for AMD. And also NVIDIA is doing a lot of research into AI, so I guess they will still, like, they will be a big name even in the future for AI. Okay, let's see here. This turned out the same. I don't know what's going on. Okay, the looping thing I have already showed you, right? So you have this image right now as it looks, and it doesn't look very good. So we go here to action, use image to image. So it is now down here. Let's try it with 30, and then we try it with 50. So this is rendering the same image. Now 50 is going to create a variation of that is different from the original image, but you can see that this is improving the face and the details. We can do this again. And this means that you can get in some very interesting, like, improve on that. Okay, this turned out exactly the same. Let's make a random seed down here. 1 second. Ah, there we go. See? So with that, without having a good starting image, you can actually turn it into something pretty cool. I will try this again, and then we can go back on the last one. Oh, this is also cool. She does have arms like here on the sides. Is this better maybe? I find like this is kind of cooler. So now I go here, action, image to image. This is why it's called looping, because you loop the output into the input again. There we go. Although this is not like complete looping as you have in Automatic 1111, where it's automatically sending the output to the input. Ah, look at that. Look at that. So we got from a really crappy image like this, we got something that looks like this. You see? So you don't even have to, like, often it's not about the prompt, it's more about the technique of what you're doing with that, right? Of course, also you can change here the model if you want to. So let's do this. I think this is probably a better way to show that. So what should we use here? Let's go here for masterpiece and see what we get there. And of course, the image is going to be very different because we have 30% right now. So now you can see they are, I can actually make 2 lines here. There you go. So you see they are very different from the style now. So yeah, pretty amazing what you can do with that. Let's change to another one. Let's go. Radiant symmetry can also be good for this, because it's already like symmetrical, but make it more symmetrical. So now we have a lot more symmetry, as you see, and also the face looks awesome. So that's a very easy trick to get really good results without trying too hard with the prompt things, by just looping the images into themselves. And now, of course, we can take this and say image to image, and then we go here to generate again. And what you can also do, if you want to stay closer to this, again, this is also cool, but now if I want to stay closer to this, I can go, for example, to 50%. Let's try 50% and then 75%. 1 second. There we go. You see, when you look at this here, that image, and then you look at this image, they are more similar. And then when I go to 75%, let's click on generate here again. It's even more similar to the image. Where is it? Oh yeah, the image down here. And with that, you can decide, is it getting better? Is it getting worse? You can also go with 75% multiple times. So I can now loop this into the image again. I have loaded this down here now. And then I click again and see if I get some improvements or not. I get some changes. Not sure if I like the changes. So you can also delete that every time if you want to, if you don't want to keep that. And then do it again. And there we go. You see, like it has maybe improved a little bit. So it's a very easy thing to do. And if you want to have another thing, you just delete that image. You click here again on generate. And so you get a new role basically, right? There we go. You see, crappy image, action, image to image, set it to 30%, generate. I have it at radiant symmetry right now for the filter, which is its own model. And that's not so great. Let's set it to 50 because I want to keep that kind of idea here with the face in the middle. Let's do that. There we go. You see? Magically from something really crappy to something much more interesting. So now we plug this into here and we try again. And there we go. You see? Now, a reason why this is working, why this is improving, is because this is always using the same prompt that I'm using here and the negative prompt. So these improvements, especially from the negative prompt, are applied onto this again and again, improving the details of the image, right? So that is helping very much. Let's try this one more time here. Generate. There we go. Yeah, so I feel it looks pretty good. Like this has a little bit of a problem here on the left eye. If you look at that, can we make this bigger? No. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, but we can delete this and then try again and see if we don't get the problem on the eye. No, we get it again. Okay. Oh, I loaded the seed. 1 second. I have to delete the seed here. Make it random. Let's try this again. Oh, now the eyes are open. So you can see, you can just like try as often as you want. On Playground, you get, at least at the moment, you get 1,000 images for free per day. Oh, this one is good. Look at that. That looks a lot more, that looks a lot better. From the eye shade, from the eyes. I hope you can see that. Yeah. What's going on in the chat here? Let's see. Do you have videos using remix function in Midjourney when you use the V buttons? I do, but it's actually very easy. There is only 2 things you can do basically. So one thing you can do, let's switch over here. One thing you can do is you simply press here on V and then it's creating a variation for you. Or better said, 4 variations of that. Now another thing you can do is you type down here /settings and then you click on settings and then you hit enter also. And then down here you can set the remix mode. Remix mode, this is important, allows you to change the prompt of the remix. So when I turn this on and I go again here on the remix button, let's go again up here. This is now giving me a pop-up, and in the pop-up I can add details, I can change the prompt. Now the thing here is, this is still dependent on the original image, so you can't divert too much from it. And also if it's changing in too much of a way, it's often having, like, it's making the image worse. So you can do rather small changes with that. So in that regard, with the remixing, is not as good as what I have showed you right now with the looping that you can do in Playground. You can also do it in Invoke. You can also do it in Automatic 1111 with different levels of success. Like they all react differently to these inputs, right? To these methods. But you can try, and you have all these adjustments. This is something that I think Midjourney should have more. Let's write here. I don't know. Let's write here, for example, sunset. So you can see when I do this, I don't have control over the render method or the model or the strength or the render steps or the, like, there's so many things, as you've seen in the playground interface, that I can do here, all these adjustments here. Then I can also apply a mask if I want to only apply this to parts of the image, right? So for example, here I can say edit mask, add mask. And then, for example, I paint in only the crown here. So only this is going to change in the new image. Let's see how good that works. Let's close this. So now we have a mask applied. You see, now we are also in a different mode. This is showing me the result here on the right side. I click on generate. I can't click on generate. I don't know why. Why can't I click on generate right now? What's going on here? Cancel? Huh? No. Apply, enter. Okay, strange. Let's try this again. Image to image. Edit mask. Add mask. Whoops. No. What the hell? Safety filter. No text prompt. Oh, no text prompt. Yes, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Thank you very much for that. Impressive golden crown. I don't know. Let's try that. Golden crown. Highly detailed. I don't think this is going to be amazing, but let's see. I thought this is going to carry over the original prompt, but of course it doesn't make sense, because then okay. I mean, it kind of worked, right? And you can click here, but it doesn't keep, does it keep the variations? No, it doesn't keep the variations, which is kind of sad. I think it should keep the variations. So you can decide afterwards which of them you want to keep. And you also can't do multiple of these variations in here. But you can see I can change now just the crown if I want to, without the rest of the image. So that's a possibility. Yeah, so crow, I wrote crow. Oh, thank you very much for that. Yeah. There we go. Golden crow. This is, yeah, didn't work. But you know what I mean. So this is how that works. Yeah. And you also, like I showed before, you can upload images here. Oh, we can actually try that. Where's my downloads folder? We can use the image from yesterday if I find it. Oh, it's not in here. It's not in here. Oh, it's not even from yesterday. It's from the day before that. Where did I put that? No, it should be here, right? Oh, there we go. Ah, but this isn't cropped the right way. Ah. So we can't actually do that right now. Or yeah. Well, anyways. Well, actually, I can crop it in here. 1 second. What's the ratio here? 768,512. Okay. Let's do this real quick. 768. Oops. 68512. 512. There we go. Oh, this is the wrong. Document, rotate. Okay, now we want to drag this in here. Let's take her. And then I'm gonna make this smaller. 1 second. Okay. Export to, yeah, we can leave it in here. Test. Okay, 1 second. So now I can upload this here if I want to. There we have it. And I can use this same thing, but with her as the inspiration. Let's go to 50% here. And so now this is based on the image, right? Yeah, look at that. Amazing, huh? This is pretty cool. So this is stable diffusion, by the way. It's not Midjourney. Look at that. Pretty amazing. And now again, of course, I can loop this. Loop-de-loop. Now it's here. Now I click again on generate. And now I have a variation of that. There you go. You see, like improved face, improved details. We can try this again, image to image. And the benefit of this method is, of course, that you have more control over the composition of the image, of the details and stuff like that by using a photo. You can also use your own photos if you want to. So there is a lot of possibility in that. Let's upload the image again. And this time I'm going to go to 75. Let's try one with 75 and then we try one with 30. This is actually less about prompts right now, I'm sorry. You can see this is a lot closer to the photo from the composition, but the face is different, but the hairstyle and things are kind of the same, and also the background. So it's pretty cool. And now we go to 30. Let's see what we get from 30. Oh, you see, it's very different, but it still has similar features with the color of the clothing, the hair, and even the makeup. So that's still pretty impressive. And for this, because it doesn't look so good, I would loop it again. Let's set it to 50. And so you can very quickly progress through these different steps of evolving something you want to have. Like, look at that. Also, like the hands turn out pretty amazing in that one. The face looks good. Pretty nice. And another thing you can do, by the way, let's upload the image again. When you have this and you're inspiring by the original image, I will set this to 75 again. What you can do is that you can, of course, then like put the photo, because this has the same composition, you could put this probably over the photo and use this. Let's do this real quick. But just paint the image, paint the face of the person in there. So let's go here. This is a little bit low resolution because I didn't upscale anything. But now I have this. And this should be actually, yeah, it's the same. You see, it's the same composition, just different details. So what I can do now is that I go here, I create a mask, and I paint out the face. So I have basically the original face of the person in there. If I find the brush, there we go. Let me make this a little bit different here. Now we go like this. Why doesn't it work? Oh, the opacity is too low. There we go. Yeah, you see? Now I paint on this. And now I have the original face of the original character, but I have changed the details. And of course you can change the details more if you want to, but in that case you can just create variations with an actual real model in a very short time, right? So that is pretty amazing. And also in here with Playground, you can change the models in here. So let's go again here for example, masterpiece. Or no, let's go in this case for detailed, a delicate detail. Generate with 75 again. It's very similar. The fur is more detailed, the hair is more detailed, but it's fairly similar apart from that. Let's go here for cinematic warm. I mean, it's very similar. Let's see here with 3. Yeah, they are fairly similar. So it didn't change too much. Okay, because 75 is probably a little bit close to what's happening here. Actually, let me loop this real quick and see what we get from that. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Okay, anyways. Good. I didn't, by the way, how long have we streamed so far? Oh, 1 hour, 7 minutes. Okay, we can still go. How long do you want to go still? How good do you feel? How are you feeling? All right, there we go. Let's look at some. Hey, cool. Wow. So this seems to be a trend lately to have this kind of 80s horror vibe in there, right? A little bit of what's the name? Who's the guy? 80s kind of TV thing. Cronenberg. Yeah, Cronenberg. David Cronenberg. Is he David Cronenberg? If you've never seen a movie of him, you absolutely have to if you're old enough, right? He has 2 masterpieces. Scanners is one of them here. And the other one is with the Beatles. What was it called? Movies. Not the Beatles like the musicians, but insects. Weapons that look like insects. Scanners is absolutely amazing. You have to look there. You have to watch that. What's the other one called? Oh no, Videodrome is the one that's the absolute classic, not Scanners. Scanners also, but Videodrome is the one. This is the big one you should absolutely watch. Insect gun, let's see. Insect gun. The Fly? No. Existence? Oh yes, Existence. It's Existence. Yeah. So these 3, Scanners, Videodrome, Existence. Check them out. It's pretty cool. Very, very nice. Can you show images here? Why isn't there? Oh. Existence. Yeah, it's like a very like strange film with this gun in it, like made from an insect. It's a very, very cool movie. Okay, let's have a look at the oh, this is Midjourney. Interesting. Let's have a look at the prompt here. Lonely teenage girl in subway platform. She sits, dark subway scenario. Okay. Yellow light, hyper detailed, screen cap, screenshot, movie, wide shot in movie, cinematography, 85mm lens, sharp focus, intricate detailed, long exposure time, f4, ISO 100, shutter speed 1/25, diffuse backlighting, AR 2x3, and V4. Okay. Screen scape. Okay. Hyper detailed, yellow lights. Dark subway. Okay, let me copy these. Cinematography, 85mm. Let's try this. What should we write in here? Something similar, or people in a subway station. Let's see what we get from that. Existence, yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for that. But what's the seed? The seed of what? Like from the girl in the subway? I don't know. It doesn't say. But I think this with the screenshot movie here and the screen cap, this is influencing the colors in that way. Of course, also yellow light maybe. But this kind of old school movie feel is really, really interesting. Really love that. I read the Midjourney subreddit and its Discord. Many say the hands fixed on default resolution. Is this true or a placebo? They improve the hands over time, so might be. Can we design semiconductors too? I don't think you can do that with AI image generation. You can probably figure out things with ChatGPT to describe to you the designs and stuff like that, or how to build it. But I don't think image AI is trained for that, because it doesn't understand the content of the image, right? There is actually, our language right now that we have is not really adequate in describing what an AI can or can't do, because we use in our words, in our language, things like the AI understands the prompt in a certain way or uses it in a certain way or stuff like that. And of course, that is not what the AI is doing, but we don't have other words to describe this process. So the AI isn't understanding anything about that. There's just information coming in and it has a certain pattern, and the AI reacts to that pattern in a certain way to put another pattern out. But there's no understanding in between that in the process, right? It's just like, in a similar way, when you press buttons on your calculator and then it displays a number on the screen, the calculator doesn't know anything about math or anything about a circle or a volume or stuff like that. You just press buttons and then a number jumps out. But the calculator doesn't know what you're doing, right? It doesn't have any kind of intelligence or awareness. The same is true for AI. So it can't do things like that, especially not with image AI, because image AI isn't trained on that. Now, you can, of course, train an AI to create semiconductors, different semiconductor designs, if the AI is trained specifically on that, on certain rules and on certain like goals, basically, right? But again, it doesn't understand what it's doing. It's just like trying to reach these goals, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, what's the chat saying? 1 second. Oh, you're posting the prompt again. Here's the prompt for the image. Yeah, I showed the prompt. Here it is. Or did I read it wrong? No, I didn't read it wrong. Okay, cool. Let's have a look here. It kind of has that vibe, right? Let me try the same prompt but without the yellow lights, and see how that is different. Yellow lights. By the way, I also wish that Midjourney would be a little bit faster, because if you have a fast GPU or if you have a good site that renders it in a couple of seconds, you can get a little bit quicker. Hey, thank you very much, AI Artist TV. Also an AI channel, I guess. Hi, thanks for your donation. The first, celebrate the first super chat. Okay, awesome. Pretty cool from AI Artist. There we go. Thank you very much. You could have actually also written a message in there if you wanted to. Somebody wants, to quickly, try it themselves. I see what you mean. Okay. So the yellow light is creating this kind of spooky atmosphere in here with a lot of yellow. And then if you don't have that, it's creating these scenes, which still have this kind of old school feeling to it. Let me actually try this again. This is the blend thing is a curse, because now it's popping up every 2 seconds. It's always on the top, even if I don't use it that much. It's always on the top. Let me write here another. Let's go here AR 16:9, or let's go. Can we do 20:9? I have to try that actually. I haven't tried that yet, because that's one of my favorite. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay. So we have to go differently. Let's remove here the yellow light, and then we want to have a AR 16:9. So we have it a little bit more cinematic. Less than a year. What's going to be fixed in a year? What are we talking about? I have to learn how to draw, especially hands, while I wait for AI. I think AI is going to be faster learning it than you are, because hands is actually one of the most difficult things to draw. Because, of course, we are using hands all the time. We're looking at them, so we know every single little detail about hands from our memory. So if it's off by a little bit, we can already see that. So it's pretty hard. Like, the hardest things and the things you should kind of learn last, and most people do first, is drawing hands and drawing a human face, because that's very difficult to do. It's much easier to draw a landscape or to draw a goat, for example. If you draw a goat, you can almost not go wrong, because we see goats so rarely that we don't realize that the image, the drawing of the goat, is hugely disfigured, because we don't have a comparison in our mind. Our mind is not trained on that image. Yeah, so that's just like how recognition works in our mind. But of course, faces we see every day, which is interesting, because if you see faces from another ethnical background, like for example Asian faces, because I don't see Asian faces much in Vienna, for me the difference is harder to discern than people I see more often, right? So I can see the difference if I have people side by side, but out of memory it's harder to like understand who is who in that regard, because it looks more similar. It's harder to figure out the difference. Even though it's a very similar face, it's different enough to make it hard to understand, to be trained on recognizing the differences, right? So that's really interesting from the brain, that we can't pick up on these cues, even if something is almost the same as something else, right? A Western face and Asian face, they're almost the same, but it's still different. Or let's say a Caucasian face and an Asian face, right? So that's very interesting. And it doesn't have anything to do with, oh, you're like stereotypical or something like that. No, we simply can't see that. This is how our brain works, how our vision works, right? And the vision works mostly in the brain, not in the eye, which is also important. Anyways, okay, cool. So that was a very interesting prompt, and you can see that you can get this old school film atmosphere from these screen cap is pretty good. Screenshot movie, very nice. Wide shot in movie, cinematography. So that's really interesting. Actually, let me try this again, and I will reduce this even more to see what we get from. Let me remove. I want to remove these two and only have screen cap and cinematography, and see what that brings, if it's very similar or not. JT says this is maybe why Asian women almost all look so young. I don't think that's the reason. I think they are different from the way, like Asians in general are different from the way they age. They wrinkle like later in life, and also have a different physique in general, right? Not all, but mostly have a more athletic and slender build compared to, like, for example, most of Europeans, right? Like a Caucasian again. Like for me, for example, it's really hard to buy shirts. They have to have you have to go to like tourist areas to buy shirts, because they are on general not just smaller but have a more slender build. So for me, with my wide shoulders and the beefy body build, the shirts are too small. For me they are like child size, right? So I have to have like I have to actually buy 3XL, which here I don't have to buy 3XL, but there I have to buy 3XL to fit me. Yeah, so there's several differences, right? On how that works, which is really interesting, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the, but it still works. You can see it still works. Yeah, very nice. Okay. One second. Let's have another ratio here. Yeah. But I find these, like culturally and historically, I find these differences very interesting. If you're into cultural studies, how like art evolves, culture evolves, things evolve, right? They have a lot of impact on that too, on the representation, on the medium, things like that. So that's very, very interesting to think about that. Anyways, Basecamp says, I'm sorry if it's philosophical, so what we see is in art is an illusion, whether it's AI generated or human. That sounds what you're saying earlier. No. Well, it is it depends how deep you want to go into philosophy, if it's an illusion or not. Basically, everything you experience is an illusion because it's made up by your brain, because you don't have an actual content. Oh, story time! Let's go for another story time here. 1 second. Okay, here we go. How does perception work? How does our how do we interact with the surroundings? So when you think about it, your body is limited to the senses it has, to the hearing, to the eyes, to the tongue, to the feeling of your fingers, to the skin. When you blow on your skin, you feel the temperature, you feel the movement of the air, stuff like that. Now, what do you feel at that moment? Do you feel the air movement and the temperature, or do you feel the sensory data of these organs, right? Because you can only feel with these organs what is happening around you, not with anything else, right? So, for example, your hair is dead. So you can feel like if it's pulled on your hair because it's connected to the skin, but the hair itself can't feel. So that doesn't work. So we have this data coming into us, and then the brain has to learn to understand what the data means, right? And you can see this process happening when you experience in life something new you've never experienced before, because the body tries to, first of all, the brain tries to find equivalencies of what you have experienced before to say, oh, this smells like that, this tastes like this, but then over time you can refine it, distinguish it in finer ways, and then make out its nature more clearly, right? Or the form or whatever it is, right? So you need to have some training in there. But most of what we experience is the interpretation, or all of what we experience is the interpretation of our brain. But also on top of that, most of what we experience is simulated by the brain, is not actually the data that comes from the outside. Because not only are the organs that we have to experience the world around not adequate to do that in that high quality, but also there is too much, I can say, noise going on around us, right? So our body relies on, or better said, our brain relies on the things we have experienced in the past, and then just matches them together, right? And says, okay, this feels like a fabric. What does a fabric feel like? So, okay, we are touching a fabric. Let's simulate a fabric feeling for that, right? And that is happening in a lot of ways that you can prove. For example, with hearing, when you hear something that is not actually there, for example, in songs, you hear different words that are not actually in the lyrics because your brain is making up words because it says, hey, that sounds like this. So let's give that person, let's give you the impression you actually hear that at that moment, which wasn't in the song altogether, but the brain tells you it is there, right? And you can actually change that. There's multiple examples in videos where you can change the meaning of a sentence depending on what you're reading on the screen at the same moment as the words are spoken. And you literally hear that being said, which tells you that your brain is simulating that sound. You're not actually hearing that sound. So it's hearing something and then making up the rest, right? Now with art, there's a different story. With images in general, with any kind of symbolism, with any kind of imagery, with any kind of language we have, the difference is that they are inherently on their own, they are empty. They have no information in them. You make up that information based on the knowledge that we have from the past. Now, if that knowledge is lost, no matter how clear the depiction is, no matter how clear the text is, you don't know anymore what it means. And we have a lot of examples from that, very beautiful examples. We can see what they are. But we don't know why they are, what they depict, what the reason is, why they have been put there. And if you think about art, art is not just like, you don't like just draw something, you mean something with the drawing. This is the artistic part, because otherwise it's just a craft. If you don't know the meaning, the artistic value is kind of lost on you. The only thing you can see at that point is the artistic craftsmanship you can still make out, right? Even if you don't know how it was made in a lot of cases, but you don't know anymore what it means. So meaning is just something we can relate to because of what we remember from the past. And if that is lost, no meaning, right? So art in itself doesn't have meaning unless you know how to understand it. Okay, anyways, end of the story time. But it's very interesting, right? To think about these things. Okay. Okay, so we removed these two. Now we have just screen cap and cinematography, and still we have this really cool style in here. It's not as old schooly, but I think this is because of the yellow light has been removed. So I will add this in again. Sorry, I want to analyze this prompt here a little bit closer because I really like that style. Hyper detailed yellow light. Okay, let me look at the chat, what people are saying. It's 5:30 on the clock. No, it's actually 9:30 here. Is your clock broken? Which clock? Oh, on the screen. This is just a screenshot. It's just I downloaded it from FreePic. It's not my room. But I like that you thought it's my room. I would like to have such a beautiful home, but I don't. Time to quote Matrix. Oh, there we go. A Matrix quote. What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste or see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. Yes, absolutely, right? Like in essence, as a human, you don't have access to reality, which is strange, but it's also true. Which comes from two. Should we go on with the story time? Oh, by the way, we have here now, you can see the yellow light makes this eerie atmosphere. And then you have in here screen cap and cinematography. And this gives you this kind of filmic look. It's pretty amazing. So really interesting. So we have kind of analyzed how this prompt is working and the words that work in here. Interesting. What did we say? Oh, okay. Well, a little bit more of the story time. Let's go here. 1 second. Okay, about what is real. What was I about to say? I forgot. No, I forgot. Now, story time is already over. One second. Let me. What did he say in here? Electrical signals interpreted by our brain. Real. Oh yes. What I wanted to say is the what is real to you has a lot to do with how you have learned to understand the world around you, right? So for example, and this is, by the way, a lot of people get that wrong. Most people get that wrong when you read there how they talk about the past, and a lot of people in society imagine the past as being just like now, but times ago, like 1,000 years ago, but it was just like now, but just like a little bit more primitive, but the rest is kind of the same, which is not true at all. Oh yeah, I remember now what I wanted to say. Other than unlike animals, and it's not sure if animals are that way or not, humans have no direct access to reality or nature because we filter everything to our cultural understanding. You cannot look at the world without trying to interpret and understand it, which means that you can only see the world in the way that you have learned to understand it culturally, but not as it is. You can't see things as they are. This is a very, very important distinction. Because it defines, everything around you, right? That's pretty important. Now, a very important thing about, like, for example, how the self-awareness and time over time has changed is, for example, the concept of an individual that is free and you think on your own and you decide for yourself and you have freedom for yourself. This is, again, also very important for art. Is a very new concept. Most of human history did not have a concept of the individual where you have decided for yourself. You were on yourself unfree. It's very important to understand that. Individuality is a modern concept because individuality requires for you that you can live on your own, independent of your culture, of your community, of your society, and also of your family. This we can only do in the last, let's say, 150 years. Before, we couldn't do that, right? So before, how would you define yourself? You would define yourself, first of all, over your family. So you and your family are the same. This is also why in a lot of cultures around the world, often you still have a very, very strong connection to the family, and people get very angry when you insult people or members of their family. And the family now comes here, the extension is in the second degree, not just your family, but also your tribe or your village, right? So if you insult someone from that village, you basically also insult someone in that family, which also insults that person. So that means when you insult someone from that village, that person that you're talking to gets angry because you also insulted that person, because there's no concept of individuality in the past. Now we have these concepts, but in the past, that would be exactly the same, right? So that's just one very, very small smidge on how our perception of reality has changed over time through the hundreds of years. Hey, wow! Very big donation here driven by commenter. Wow, pretty amazing. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let me read that and then we go back to the prompts. I'm sorry. I feel like the subway image are reconstructing the perspective of common images for data set, being able to manipulate the output in unique angles of 1, 2, or 3 people. What point perspective would be interesting? That is true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of, you could probably in the prompt try to have the scene, but depicted, for example, in comic book art where you have a different or no perspective at all. The difference between 1, 2, and 3 point perspective is basically often also how you view things, right? Let me switch here over. So you can, for example, argue that this is mainly, if not in total, a 1 point perspective image, because you can see that all of the lines in the image converge to a thing behind that. And every object in here is kind of, because you only have one hole, and then also this kind of train here, which is part of the whole basically, is going down to 1 point. So this is kind of a 1 point perspective if you want to, right? But I know what you mean, and it would be really interesting, to play with different perspectives. You can go now here and say viewed from top down or something like that to have a different perspective. Okay, let me see what the chat is saying here. 1 second. I can't find it. You made an image like animated. You mean the music video I did? Is that what you mean? The animated image? Who knows if not really real? Maybe they can just see stuff that we can't. How can we say for sure? I am, therefore I am. Which is I don't buy that, by the way, from Descartes. If he says, I am, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. Sorry. I think, therefore I am. How do you know that you think? And it's not just the text in a book. you do the thinking, or you're just a character in a video game, or you're just a character in a movie? How do you know you do the thinking? And it's not just like there already and you're just acting it out. So you don't think in that moment, right? Yeah, philosophy is very interesting. It can go very deep. Oh, by the way, I have I have a little mind melter. How would you say for that? Here's something to think about. About causality, about reality, about existence. How would you prove any of that if, like, imagine there's a universe that is real and everything is happening real in there. And then this universe where you are is an exact copy of that universe. And everything that's happening in the first universe is acting that out also as a mirror in the second universe. So everything you do is like a mirror reaction to what people do in the first universe. So nothing is causality, nothing is reality, nothing is existence. You're just like an exact copy of the other universe. How could you prove if that's the case or not, right? How do you know you are you and your thoughts are your thoughts and what your reality is your reality, and you're not just the mirror image of some actual reality? You don't know, right? There's no way to prove that because everything is exactly the same, right? So yeah, that's that. There's something to ruin your night. There we go. Let's go back into prompts here. Actually, sorry, it's getting a little bit more philosophical. Let's see what we have here. Oh my God, this looks like the Joker. Also, I wanted to read more of the comments here. Boltzmann brain. Right, yeah. Keep in mind that your screen grab is a movie still. Yeah, that's true. Pretty much set in stone. The perspective is pretty much set in stone. Why with a screen cap is the perspective set in stone? Because you can move the camera around in any kind of direction, so the perspective is changing all the time in a movie, right? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. In a theater, the perspective is set because you're sitting on the same angle on the same point, which is how film has revolutionized the storytelling, is by being able to change the distance and the angle to the scene, which you can't do in a theater. And so you could tell a story in a very different way, right? Spontaneously assembled and form thoughts of its own. Oh, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's also like, how do you know that not every moment is just like beginning and everything you remember before is not true? So many things. I tell you, I see someone successfully create an optical illusion in Midjourney. Oh, an optical illusion. We can let's ask Midjourney. Create a optical illusion. Okay, and then also we will go here to ChatGPT and ask it for describe an image of optical illusion. Okay. Now, can I stop? Describe an example of an optical illusion image. Okay. Let's reload this. Illusion image. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. I mean, that's an optical illusion already. I mean, you do see a tunnel that's going into a table, even though it's just a drawing on a table. So that's kind of, I guess that's not what you mean, but it technically is an optical illusion. Cafe wall illusion. Okay, coffee wall illusion. Let's try that. I don't know what that is, but let's see. Maybe we will find out in a second what that is. What is the description here? It is an optical illusion where parallel lines appear to be slanting in opposite directions. The image consists of black and white tiles arranged in a checkerboard pattern, with attending black and white mortar lines. However, the mortar lines appear to slope in different directions, creating a visual illusion. This illusion is created by the interaction of lines, their spacing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's have a look here. Oh, this one. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, interesting. So let's see what's... Oh! No, that's not quite it. Okay, interesting. So that didn't quite work. Okay. Let's see here. Give me another one. Okay. Let's have a look here at the prompt from this one, from the choker. Oh, this is just based on an image input, so there is not much to analyze here. Let's go to the next one. What do we have here? Landscape. Why is this loading so slow? It's a tree in a glass jar. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Okay. Toxic Chi. Thank you very much for that. I'm looking for some interesting pictures to analyze the prompts. Oh, wow. What do we have here? Wow, a giant angel. Woo. With spread out wings. Imagination and sensory. Baskin says, relating to the current topic, which is better, interpreting reality or our own imagination or sensory? I would say the most interesting thing is to analyze how different cultures interpret reality, right? What is their understanding? How are they interacting with that? And if you also look at a lot of... if you look at a lot of religion or spirituality, which is like also we have inspiring now with the angel stuff like that, a lot of that is trying to understand what is happening in the world, trying to find reasons for dramatic events, for lucky events, for causality, for just things that are happening that are very hard to grasp, to find a solution or an explanation for that, but also to trick our mind and our emotions into acting a certain way. And this can be done rather simple, because even if we understand that something is not real and something cannot be a certain way, we can trick our feeling into believing that it is, right? So a classic example for that would be, story time again. Let's look at the prompt while we do this. 1 second, what do we have here? So this is the prompt for that. And a lot of people are using Midjourney. I thought we would get a lot more stable diffusion images, but I guess most people are still using Midjourney, right? Which is really interesting. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. A very easy thing to do is, a very easy trick to do is, for example, your blanket, right? Like, for example, if you sleep without a blanket, you feel unsafe. Even though the blanket doesn't give you any safety at all, you have learned to feel more safe with a blanket on your body. So just lying there on your bed without nothing feels really eerie, feels creepy, feels kind of dangerous. Even though you know nothing can happen, the sheet doesn't protect you at all. It can be ripped away in a second, even before you wake up, so there's no protection at all. You still feel safer with the blanket, right? And you can do the same trick by tricking yourself into thinking you are safe by, for example, what we do, what people do a lot in spirituality and religion is that they are, how do you say, what is the, wait a second. Oh, to bless, kind of bless, yeah. A house, a doorway, a pathway, stuff like that, right? To make a sign or to put some stuff there, a little bit of salt, a little bit of water, that it's like holy water, stuff like that. And you can trick your emotion into feeling more safe in that building because of that, even if you know it's not real, right? And that's really interesting that our mind and our body works like that. Okay, anyways. The angle of the Lord standing in the heavenly realm of Elysian fields, sunshine is upon the face of a beautiful lush field of plains and savannas, style Caravaggio and John Harris. Okay, by the way, is anybody still watching? Because I'm doing all this kind of philosophical talk. Oh, people are still here. Hey, that makes me happy that people are interested in that. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what we have here for the next prompt. Oh my god, that is a pretty cool image. Wow, look at how the light is going through the hair. And the face expression, wow, that is a pretty cool one. So, this is also again like a multi-prompt here. Cinematographic trailer of a desperate woman running from a nightmare monster of horror and unmentionable darkness. Cinematic lighting, film photographed by Tammy Bone, experimental composition. Wow, very, very nice. By the way, let me try this. Actually, let's have a look at the prompt if there are weights being used. 1 second, I don't see the lower part of the prompt here. I came for the $50 gift. What $50 gift? Today you only win the prize of knowledge and mildly good entertainment. and a pub counter philosophy. Beer, what is it called? What is it? Stammtisch? What is Stammtisch in English? Huh? Regulars table. Ugh, that sounds boring. Okay. Local pub philosophy. There we go. Yeah. That's the only prize to win today. Okay. What were we? Oh yeah, we're going at the trailer here. At the prompt, sorry. Cinematographic. Oh, we have already looked at that, right? Yes, we have already. Oh, I wanted to see if there's any weights in there, but there isn't. Okay. So I'm going to copy that over, and then we're trying to do it with the multi-prompt and then without the multi-prompt to see if there's any difference in there. So this is with the multi-prompt first, and then we remove that. 1 second. There we go. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. Oh, and I forgot to put the aspect ratio. Oh no, I put the aspect ratio, so that's pretty cool. I actually, Niva says I'm actually just starting using Midjourney because of the web design. I still can't find any on Stable Diffusion that can do that. The web design? You mean like you create web design with Midjourney? Or you mean I don't think you mean the design of Discord, right? Baskin says, how I make work of art that's derivative but make it original enough to be copyrighted. Huh? I tried many times. They are always knockoff. What? I don't know what you mean. You mean maybe image to image render? Or what? Why? I don't understand. Why do you need to copy any originals? Why not create your own thing? Like you now have a technology that can in seconds create your own images in like masterful quality. Why do you still have to copy stuff? I don't understand. Just make your own images, like get inspired by the images, of course, or maybe like I did before, like I showed you before, use the image as a base for the composition, but then render your own thing on top of that, right? It's kind of easy. Why would you need to copy that? Or go and look at the prompts. You can see for the Midjourney community feed, or other pages like Lexica Art, stuff like that, that show you prompts for Stable Diffusion, things like that. Okay. Let me see. Oh, yes. So you can see here a little bit of the difference. Like, for example, this is very similar. This is with the multi-prompt where this is separated out. And we have, let's have a look here again. So you have here a cinematographic trailer of a desperate woman running from a nightmare monster of horror and unmentionable darkness. There is the first multi-prompt, cinematic lighting. Second one, film photographed by Tammy Bone. Third one. And then here's the rest, experimental composition. Now, so here, this is separated out. We have this kind of image. And now here in this one, everything is together in one. Now, first of all, you can see for all of these images, like this is also pretty cool. But the quality is lower of the output, general, because everything for the AI is flowing together. So all of the things, all of the words are applied to all of the elements in the image, right? It's not separated out. So this one is actually pretty cool, I have to say. Now, what you can say here, though, is that this image has more to do with the original story that was intended. Cinematographic trailer of desperate woman running from a nightmare monster, because we don't see that in the other image at all here. But this is kind of reacting to a nightmare monster from the face expression. So it's still pretty cool. And you can see also here in the other images, for some reason, there is no nightmare monster visible. That's pretty interesting. So these are actually pretty similar when you see these two. But still, I would say this has a higher quality from the details, and also the, how can I say, the correctness of the perspective of the anatomy than you have in here. Although this is also very good, I have to say. But the ghost, you see the arms are a little bit jelly-like here, and also here back the feet are a little bit jelly-like, while this looks a bit better, I would say. So yeah, I think the multi-prompting on Midjourney can help you to get nicer, better results. But I can see they are still very similar. But I would still say there is less faults in this one. Baskan says, I'm sorry, technically, like making a comic book character, I tried prompts and descriptions, but it always ended up being a Superman clone. Oh. Well, I would think you could do it with image to image, uploading an image and then creating variations from that to stay more similar to the input, to give it an inspiration if you want to. Let's go to free pick here real quick. 1 second. Free pick. Cute. Let's see. Like, for example, we have this character here. Let's download. I actually can download it here. Yeah, let's go to character sheet. And then I don't even know what to write as a prompt here. Let's go here. Create. Or actually, we can also do it in Stable Diffusion. On Midjourney, sorry. Let's go here and see what we get from that. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure what to write as a prompt. Why is this not here yet? Oh, it's in here. Ah, shit. 1 second. There we go. Okay, now we have it here. Let's drop this here and then hit enter. No, doesn't want to. I need to at least 2 images, I guess. Okay. So I guess we need a second image, which is not exactly what I want to do here, but let's take this one, for example. Give me a break here with these special formats. Come on. Let's put this here. And then let's put this here. There. Okay. So let's see what we get from this. This is basically mixing these 2 images, but also is uploading both of them. So that's a little bit helpful. Cute. What was the first one? A panda or something. I don't know. Hamster. Let's just write hamster. There we go. Already done that. Super hearing? What? In some way. Start by deciding what your new character's powers are. Oh, that's also interesting. So here you see we have a little bit of variations, like some work, some don't work. Oh, there's a cute hamster doing something else, but maybe this one, for example, is similar enough. And then you can convert this into a vector. But I don't know why he looks like a ghost a little bit, but you can do like multiple. You can retry, re-roll that. Oh, and there we go. Look at that. That's pretty cute. It's not at all like the original style, but it's pretty cute. And it's inspired. It has the same kind of composition, so that's already pretty nice. So that might be methods to like combine these images or use a source image here. Let's try the same thing on here. 1 second on Playground to see what we get from that. Okay, let's go like this. Cute hamster. Is there a filter for that? Playtune. Wall art? No. Let's try without it. Let's go 30%. And then we also try with Playtune. Let's see what that gets us. Oh, it has 4 eyes. Not so great. Let's go here with Playtune. Oh, okay. So Playtune is more like a Pixar style character. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. Ah, now it's stuck again. Okay. Anyways. Oh no, there we go. Oh my god. Okay, that didn't work at all. Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. Jesus Christ is a Chernobyl hamster. Okay. Could always use a negative prompt if you're getting traits you don't want. Yeah, so if you're using Stable Diffusion, you have to experiment a lot with the negative prompt. And with Midjourney, it's like negative prompts you can do, but mostly you don't need to. And then with an image input, you can actually create some pretty cool stuff. And you can, of course, go in here, what I have here, cute hamster, and then go like maybe comic book style or something like that. Let's see. Comic book style. Oh, actually here, let's... Can we do multi-prompt? No, I think with images we can't do multi-prompt, right? Comic book style, let's do it like this. Okay, what else do we have in here for our submissions? We didn't do much with the submissions. Oh, wow, that's also a very cool style, a very realistic style. Can you color your own vector images in Midjourney? No, because Midjourney doesn't create vector images. Oh, you mean color your own vector images? I don't think so, because Midjourney is only taking images as an inspiration, but it's not doing the exact same thing. So colorizing images is not really a thing, but you might be able to do that on Playground, because Playground has here this image editing thing. So we can actually try that. What do you call it? Coloring. Coloring book page. There we have it. Let's download this. It's another zip file. They're in love with the zip files. Okay, anyways. Let's go here for import image. Then we go here. This is now the same image editing as we had with the mask. And now we can say colorize and see what we get from that. So Playground has pretty cool functions. Like I said, I'm very happy with what they're doing. Although in this case, it didn't do much. Colorize. I'm pretty sure there's a way. I have never tried it before, but I'm pretty sure there is a way to do that. Oh my god, it turned it completely into a dragon, so that wasn't what I want to do here. Let's go with 7 here. Image to image in Midjourney, it doesn't really have it. You can upload image links, but it's only a rough inspiration. Colorize is color ice, really? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. Oh, the other one didn't work. I just saw it. Okay, anyways, let's go back here to the prompts. Ah, we haven't looked at that prompt. So let's see what we have here. This is for that image that we saw before, this one. Very beautiful. Look at that. Very nice detail. Oh, by the way, look at the hands here. So the hands look really, really good in this image. You see, both of them are pretty much perfect. And then the photographic style here is really cool. I kind of avoid to use these photographic images for my thumbnails so far because I feel like most people expect a different, more AI kind of drawing style and might confuse my video with like a photography tutorial, stuff like that, right? So, but this is really, really cool. The prompt for that, let's see if we find something cool in here. Full body shot of a woman in white clothes with aviators, steampunk black goggles, standing in a desert, natural earthy tones, natural zenithal sunlight. Zenithal sunlight, pretty cool, never heard that before. Zenith, of course, is when the sun is the highest, which in most cases, well, it depends where you are on the Earth. The more you are to the equator, the less shadow you get through the zenith, because the sun is on top of you, actually. So yeah, no shadow basically, and that means f3.6, captured by Hasselblad X-Pan cinematic fine art photography. Interesting term. So you actually use different ways of photography, like fine art photography, glamour photography, studio photography, magazine photography. Try these out, these different terms. They give you like more artistic, more fashionable, more like glamour styles, things like that, from the different kinds of photography. So that is actually a very good way to include that. Then we have 50mm photography. 50mm is supposed to be closest to the eye. Model photo shoot by Wes Anderson. Okay. S for stylized 100. Okay, pretty cool. It's nerfed compared to 1.5. Yeah, but there's like, it's also 2.1. They need different prompts, but you can have a very good quality from Stable Diffusion 2 if you know how to use that with the prompting, especially with the negative prompting. It's even more important there to do the negative prompting. And also they have removed artists to some extent, so you have to be more specific with the prompts you're writing. But if you do that, if you know how, you can get very, very good similarity. 35mm. Isn't it the case that 35mm is closest to the eye with a small chip or a small camera, and then if you have a full frame camera, it's 50mm to the eye, right? Because the cropping is different from a 35mm lens. For a small, like old analog film or small sensor, and a bigger sensor, right? So I'm pretty sure it's 50mm for full frame, or is it 50mm for? No, it has to be 50mm for full frame because a smaller APS-C is cropping in, so it makes sense to have 35 for APS-C, right? Let me know. Anyways. So that's pretty cool style here. By the way, we wanted to look here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So now we have Cute Hamster comic book inspired by these original 2 images, and we got out some pretty amazing results, I would say. They need some cleanup and some refinement, but of course, you can see that the complexity is not very high, so you can easily do this with the vector software, just drawing the outlines. You have already the colors in there, cleaning that up a little bit, and then you have a pretty cool design. Of course, there's still some like work involved. We're not far enough yet to have an output that is actually a vector output, but you can see that these are pretty awesome designs. And because I would say they are different enough from the original that you actually don't get sued over them, right? Because they have barely anything to do with the original concept of that. So I would think that should be enough. 35 on an APC will be 52. Right. Yes, but the transfer is not exact, right? 100%. So the values are not exactly the same. When you buy the lenses, you can't get the exact value lens for full frame and APS-C, right? For the same values. They're a little bit different from the millimeters. I'm not quite sure what it's based on. I think on just like making it easier for the consumer, right? A 52 millimeter lens kind of doesn't roll very nicely from the tongue or something like that. I got, or like you get strange values, you know? Like if you have an 85 millimeter lens and you like convert that to an APS-C lens, you would get a like strange value out probably. Okay, anyways, let's go on here. Also, I find personally that although no, I can't say that. Well, I can say that. A 50 millimeter, like a 35 millimeter is not the same as a 50 millimeter, I would say, with full frame, because you still get a different image. Because sorry, we're in a different realm now. But if you have a really high quality lens and a really good full frame camera, you get a very, very crisp and very amazing texture that's like cake, like you want to eat that like raw sushi, you know, because it's like really, really good. And it just looks different. And then if you have like a Hasselblad, like an even bigger frame, what is it actually called? If the one is full frame, it's like, I don't know. In German, it's called Großformat. I don't know what the English word for that is. Okay, redirecting doesn't work here for some reason. That again has a different look for the image. If you actually photograph with the Hasselblad classic analog film, it looks very digital to our eyes now because the quality is so high, higher than you would get with a small like analog film. But the way it feels is more filmic and more impressive, but you have to see it in person, the photo, right? Not on a screen, like actually the photo. And then it's like, you're just like, holy shit, is that good? Right? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Okay, anyways, there we have National Geographic portrait close-up of an old man seated and smoking shisha. Okay, didn't work out as a shisha. Narrow alleyway souk. What's a souk? Is a souk a market or what is a souk? Translation. What does souk mean? Oh, bazaar. Okay, bazaar. Market, etalage display. I don't know what etalage display is. Merchant walking gallery, raw marble stone, futuristic, minimalistic Arabic influence architecture contrasting raw stone, natural earthy tones, natural zenithal sunlight again, captured by is this from the same person? Yes, okay, just one per person. Some interesting things in there though. A medium format camera is larger than a full frame. Oh, they are called medium format? Ah, I didn't know that. I only know the German word for that. I don't speak Italian or Spanish. I think it's todo un campeón. I don't know what. Gracias. I don't speak Spanish. You have to translate that for me. Google Translate or anything. Or actually, I can do it here. 1 second. Let me do it here. Translate to English. What does he say? What a great guy you are. Hey, thank you very much. That's pretty awesome. True champion. Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing so generously and selflessly. Absolutely, my friends. You are welcome. I think I can do a little bit Spanish. No, I can't. Yeah. Muchos gracias, mi amigo. Is that correct? I don't know. I hope so. All right. It's a market. Okay, cool. Right. Oh man, I have market again triggers philosophical discussions about Western society and other societies, especially now that I've been for 2 months in Asia, which was absolutely amazing. And I feel like we might be the richer countries, but they have the better life. So maybe it's not all about having more money. It's maybe about having more fun in life, right? Anyways, let's go. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, this is again the same person. Oh, there we go. And you know what? One thing I really experienced is Western people, wherever they go, they have to, like, how do you say, complain about this and that. Oh, the food. Oh, the noise. Oh, the car is honking. Oh, the people are talking too loud. Oh, this and that. And you're like, just shut up and just like enjoy the moment, right? And you don't like, with the Thai people, I haven't experienced anything like that. They don't complain, you know. I think it's also not part of the culture, but also they're very nice. Like, if you take a photo and a Thai person comes and would walk in front of your camera, they stop and they wait until you finish, or they say sorry, and then they make you aware that they are there. Not the Western tourists. They just like, they put their big ass in front of your camera and then they take their own photo without a thought in the world that they might stand in your picture at the moment. They don't care at all. It's really amazing, because it's again a cultural difference, you know, different habit. Yeah, I don't know. I found there, like, people are more kind in a certain way, right? This picture, by the way, is really cool with the green and the pink here. Yeah. Let's have a look at the prompt. Oh, it's just 50s wallpaper. So that's a very easy prompt here to look at. The problem with Western people, this is by Blitz. The problem with Western people in other parts of the world always comes down to high expectations that are not bound to reality. It is high expectations, but I would say it's not just high expectations toward that location. It's high expectations that is fueled by people having too much money, and money can buy you convenience. And as soon as you have this convenience, you can't take it anymore any other way. So when you can afford a place that is clean and is quiet and is separated and is protected and stuff like that, and then you come to another place where it isn't like that, maybe in some regards, you can't accept that anymore, because you have learned through like having that good life that you need to have that quiet and you need to have everything clean, right? If there is something rusty, it has to be repaired. It can't be rusty, right? So I think that there's something that's just fueled by having too much convenience, maybe, right? Which I don't necessarily think is good for society. Because what it does also, and this is what a lot of people miss out on, is the convenience takes away a lot of the freedoms that people used to have. Because if you want to have all these services, all these conveniences, all these safeties in your life, they are mostly provided by big corporations and by systems, right? like hotel chains, food chains, supermarket chains, stuff like that, because they make things clean, easy, fast, convenient, right? If you have these small stores, the market where you have to haggle over price, you can't do it that way. You don't know if it's original product. You don't know if you get a fair price, but you have a lot of choice. You have a market, you have a bustling life on the street. A lot of stuff is going on. Let's talk about the prompt here. Portrait of a wolf double exposed with the forest. There we have a multi-prompt again. Forest background. Okay, pretty cool. Short prompt, but it's to the point and it's using a multi-prompt and it looks very nice. Yeah. So one thing I learned from my stay in Bangkok is that even though here it's very nice in Austria where I am, the streets are dead. There is nothing on the streets because everything is behind a storefront and you have no freedom to do business or anything on the street. There is no place to sit. There is no reason to stay. It's kind of, what is it called, loitering or something? Not loitering, but like if you stay too long in a place, it's not like, it's kind of frowned upon, right? So there's nothing in the street other than moving through the street. It's dead. There's nothing left. And this is because of our convenience, because we want to have stores and safety and blah, right? So I don't think that's a good thing. Anyways, let's go on here. my streams always like turn into the most like philosophical and opinionated talk. Biomorphic peon. Okay, so the prompt is almost non-existent, but it's very cool. It's very creative at the same time. I like the image. I like how the inside of the flower looks like hair. That is pretty amazing, right? Yeah. That's called loitering, really, if you stay too long at a place, right? Yeah. And the crazy thing is it's public space. It's meant to be the space where culture happens and people meet, but you can't, because even though this is technically allowed, the space is designed purposefully in a way that you can't stay in that place. You want to move on because it's not convenient to be there, right? There's almost no place to sit, and everything is like stone and hard and gray and sometimes dirty. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think you will find me that I moved to Asia in some years. Probably. I already didn't want to come back. Wow, that's a cool image. Let me have this in a bigger one so we can see both of them. Holy shit. Is this an in-paint image or is it like created in one go? So you see here the lady standing there in her full beauty and youth. And then the skeleton down here. Wow, that is amazing. Do you see that? Like the skeleton here, wearing still the same bikini and having kind of the similar flowers in the hair. That is amazing. Wow, that is really amazing. Look at that. That is such a great idea with this kind of reflection here in this pond. I would say, if this is water, if it's not, I don't know. But yeah. Come to Mexico one day. A friend of mine is living in Mexico, right? He has a spouse there, and so he's half of the year, or like a good time of the year, he's in Mexico, and then a good time of the year she is with him in Berlin, which is pretty cool, which is very, very nice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's sad because of copyright. I don't know what happened in the music industry. Demonizing streaming in MP3s. Imagining AI art becomes illegal on it. I don't think it will be the same with AI art, because AI art, like the difference for the music industry is that people downloaded MP3s and they were the MP3s from the bands, right? Their creation was downloaded, exact copy of the creation, but AI is creating new images. So this is a completely different topic. On top of that, right? Now, of course, music has a bigger and stronger protection of, for example, different melodies and rhythms and stuff like that, the lyrics in there, which you don't have that strictly in art, because the copyright is actually just for the exact work that you're doing. maybe that will like get stronger, but I can't imagine it will. I don't think it will. Anyways, we will have to see in the future what's going to happen. Let's have a look here at the prompt, what this says. This is for this image. Oh my god, there's a lot of breast stuff in here. Oh no, this is the negative prompt. Okay, so we can look at this. Okay, photography of a beautiful monster woman with twigs and flowers in her hair from below 1.2. From below 1.2. So you can see this is the kind of weight you can do with Stable Diffusion. The round brackets add the weight to it, 1.2, and then deep cleavage, okay, wearing a teddy, yellow, red, blue collar, punk woman with runic tattoos in a fantasy temple, slim, small breast, t-shirt, open vest, mid-riff. And then we have here the negative prompt, as you can see. But this doesn't say anything about the dead and the reflection or anything about that. So either this is a very big coincidence that it happened that way. Oh, this is with the model Galaxy Time Machine GTM version 3. I have to check that out. Let me save this here real quick. There we go. Okay. Or it's using inpainting for that, right, to create that. But it's very, very nice. Really, really awesome work. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. These are awesome also. Very, very nice. Very cool. Yeah. This is, by the way, this is also something that's kind of going away. Let's go back to the philosophical talk. Like, we are having a more, of course, with the global culture, the global exchange, everything is spreading. So all around the world, people are wearing t-shirts and jeans, right? So the clothing is very similar, but at the same time, you have these kind of traditional clothings going away, and kind of tribal traditions, village traditions, these kind of things going away, because also most people are moving to the big city. And that's also kind of a pity, because the existence of these things are the root of how rich our culture is and can be, because they give us a lot of imagination. And when you look at today how a culture is created in video games, in movies, in music, in all these kind of things, and design, they all are fueled in many cases by these tribal old school cultures who do these kind of things, to give these kind of inspirations, to give these kind of ideas. They are not often new ideas. They are making a variation of old cultures in a modern twist to create a superhero or whatever, you know, with these kind of things. So taking that away is kind of also like leveling out how much new inspiration can come in, right? Of course, there's a lot of inspiration we do on ourselves, but yeah, we have to see about that. Anyways, this is a very, very cool picture. Really like that. Very cool. Man, I see so often things with AI image where I think, hey, it would be so cool if that would be real. I hope we will see in our lifetimes the crossover where these things become virtually real, in a sense where you have not just a VR headset, but also a haptic, like a glove or thing. They are already working on that, where you can touch these things. And then I think if we have this kind of advancement, I think the difference between real reality and simulated reality will become like smaller and smaller, and at some point we will see them almost as a similar thing, because in a sensory way they are similar to us, and then also probably in a cultural meaning they're going to be similar to us, right? For like if you see how much culture has changed for us already, where now nobody is writing a card anymore or writing a letter anymore. When you go to another country, you send over WhatsApp an image and then you send a text or a voice message. why would you write a card? So virtual has already become reality in a certain part for us, right? Okay, let's look at the prompt here. Colorful, dynamic, fluid feathers floating around, a portrait of a beautiful woman with futuristic fashion, bulky, gargantuan exosuit, arm worn by alluring space K-pop girl in Africa, Day of the Dead by Alfonso Mucha. Oh, wow, okay. F2.8 long exposure, Vogue and Gucci style, stylistic style, direct to eyes expression. What? Direct to eyes expression face. Full body, beautiful beauty art, eye symmetrical eyes, Vogue Gucci outfit shot, photography by Wes Anderson, middle shot portrait, indigo 25mm, ultra high detail, low light, cinematic light, NVIDIA Ray render, terracotta art station, smooth ultra high definition, sharp focus, photorealism photography, realistic detail, depth of field, full HD, 8K 3D, super resolution, octane render, award-winning photo, Unreal Engine, shot on Canon DSLR, elegant abstract suit, outfit. I would actually be interested how much of this you could reduce and still get a similar result from that, because there seems to be a lot in there that's kind of repeating or is kind of expressing the same thing. Of course, the output will still be different because the prompt, even if you have multiple times the same thing in the prompt, it still adds tokens to the prompt and will change the output. But still, I think you could maybe reduce that. And by reducing it, the interesting thing is when you have such a long prompt, reducing it, you can actually find out better what words in the prompt have what kind of influence on the image. Sorry for the pause. What do you think, VR or AR is real? I think personally that AR, even though and not in the way we imagine it right now, will have a lot bigger impact than VR will have. But VR is also important when you want to have a simulation of everything around you, right? But it is, so there's a difference. Like AR is more important when you move more in the real world, which we do most of the time, right? And so right now we have a lot of story time. Let's talk about that. That's an interesting topic. I will make it short. So AR is interesting in the real world, and we use it already a lot when we want to interact, but also see the other people in the real world, or when we want to convey something out of the real world. So one of the main applications of AR that we're using right now is all of these kind of TikTok filters with overlays, makeup, and all kinds of things on your face that project something on your face that you can then show in a video, but you want to have a combination of the real face and the fake makeup, right? And in this case, we will use AR very, very often for a lot of things. Also, you can try out different clothings, different sunglasses, different hats, just by using your smartphone and seeing how it fits you. And they also already try to implement that in online stores, stuff like that, because it makes a lot of sense that you can see a product before they ship it, so they save on the shipping, right? Now VR is important for either for entertainment purposes. That's a good thing, but entertainment is kind of limited to just when you want to have fun. A more important thing, and this is I think what Meta is bringing into the discussion more, is that it is a very important environment for work and for meeting people who are not at the same place, right? And I think you know from your own experience that it is a very different feeling to talk to someone over the phone, even with a video, and being in the same room with a person, because it just feels different. The existence, the like having a person closer to you. And I think you can simulate this when the software gets better with the simulation, that it looks more real, things like that, that you can have meetings with people all around the world. So for the work purpose, that makes a lot of sense. And of course, these kind of business things and meetings and stuff like that, that's a much bigger time and part of our life. Like, think about your life. Usually you spend 8 to 10 hours in work, and then the rest of the day you spend like 8 hours sleeping. So you have 18 hours already wasted. So you have 6 hours left. There's a little bit of transportation in there, going shopping, doing your chores. So take another 3 hours away. So maybe you have 3 hours of enjoyment for a day, if that at all. And from that you do sports and walking and meeting friends. So you maybe have 1 hour in a day or in 2 days for gaming. Not so much compared to the 8 or 10 hours you spend in work, where VR can be a big thing. So I think Meta has a very good idea about what VR is actually useful for, but they need to remove Zuckerberg from their marketing, because he's just not a face that is relatable, right? He's not a person that has warmth in the expression, right? He's a great guy in the way he's creative, and he made one of the biggest companies in history, but yeah, he's not the face of marketing. So he should like just give that to someone else and just like make his vision happen, but have someone in the front who is cool enough to convey to the people, and invite some cool artists to make some cool projects, not this kind of Nintendo Wii looking characters. That's just not good. Anyways, there we go. Okay, so why VR have the most hype then? Because it's more visual, and because, well, people don't think about a makeup on TikTok as AR. It's just like a filter. They call it a filter, right? They don't think about it as an AR thing. And VR is cool for the gaming thing, but the market penetration of VR headsets is terrible. Like, do you know anybody in your friend circle who actively plays VR on a regular basis? Not really, right? There's like almost nobody who does that. You might know somebody who has a VR headset, but how often do they use it actually for playing, right? Okay, anyways, let's go here. How long have I streamed, by the way? Because I don't want to go over 2 hours. Is it already? Oh my god. It's 2.5 hours. All right. Okay, it's time to close the thing here. Let's look at the last 4 images here, and then we close this. Oh, here we have the Hulk. Thank you very much for that. Looks pretty cool. The flames in the background don't fit at all. It's really strange, because the rest of the image is pretty cool, but the flames, they are kind of a very different style. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, let's go. Here's the next one. Oh, by the way, this is a playground image. This is a oh, that's a very nice playground image. There we go. Analog style. Wow. I love it. Very nice portrait, and the background is also very detailed. This is pretty cool. Thank you very much for that. And then here, oh, sorry, I missed out on that one. What is this? Oh, also nice. Very cool. Very colorful with the earrings. The makeup is a little bit extreme, but pretty cool still. Very, very nice. Okay, and then here we have the last one. So we have shown everybody. Oh, wow. This is a good one. Look at that. I love this one. Look at that. Like this big like demon, and then the little girl walking towards the demon thing. And he seems to be like a person standing there, but then also it looks like this is an entrance to a building. Not quite sure what is going on, but this looks amazing. Wow. I would love to watch that movie or play that game. Anyways, there we go. Okay. That's it for today, I would say, because we are already like so deep into the time. I don't want to make these videos too long, but it was amazing to hang out with you. Thank you very much for all of the input, and thank you very much for all of the submissions. I hope I could give you some pretty cool insights. Yeah, so see you in my next live stream. And of course, tomorrow I will do a video. I want to do a video on LoRa, which has been out for a month or so. for automatic 1111, but I want to do like show different methods and show how to apply that and different kind of solutions. So maybe I do it like in the next days. I will see how long I take for my research. Anyways, this is coming. So thank you very much for everything and for being my community. It's always awesome to hang out with you, and see you soon. Bye.